Okay, YouTube, it is Thanksgiving 2025. I am going to make a very thorough walk around video of my son's truck that he built and is now up for sale. He has owned this truck for, oh gosh, almost probably 2 years now, done a bunch of work to it, and he moved on and got a Suburban that he's working on, and this one we are going to kick down the road. So I'm going to get into the good, the bad, everything we've done, and there's a lot, and it's going to be a long video because I want somebody to know exactly what they're getting. So start off, it is a 2002 Chevy 1500 4x4 Z71. It has the 5.3 liter V8 in it, and it is, I think it's got 152,000 original miles. So I'll do a quick, well, it won't be quick. I'll start at the front. So then I'll work my way all the way around this, inside, underneath it, in the engine compartment, fire it up so you guys can see, and I'll explain the work that was done. And I've got a pile of receipts too that has gone into this thing. So to start, front end, we have the original valance with the fog lights that came on this truck that's included in it. He removed that and got an aftermarket skid plate. I think it's called Izzy Fab. It was made for this truck. So that's what's going on with the front end. It's got aftermarket, I think they're aux beam or Oxedo headlights and high beams in this thing. There's also ditch lights. My camera focuses. Ditch lights. All of the auxiliary lighting is wired up into a rough country, I think it's an 8-gang controller on the inside that you'll see. It's got, so ditch lights there. Inside the wheel wells and underneath the frame, underneath the body of the truck, is rock lights. It's got a set of 17 by, I believe they're 8.5 methods. They are not a true beadlock. They're just your simulated beadlock. It has a set of 305/70/17 Nitto Recon grapplers. And you can see, I'll bet they have, oh, he's probably had them about a year, so it's probably got about, I don't know, 10 or 12,000 miles on those tires. Getting underneath here, it's got a brand new set of Bilstein shocks, front and rear. The fronts are 5100 non-reservoir shocks, and the rear will be the 5160 with reservoir shocks. It's got rough country upper control arms. It does have new tie rod ends that are precision chassis, which was the best that you can get. So all the components that he bought were the best parts that he could get, other than, like, obviously we didn't go with like a Dirt King or something like that, but new lower control arm because it needed new lower ball joints, so he bought a new lower control arm with precision chassis components on there, and both sides match, obviously, so that's a new lower control arm. It had new brakes done, I want to say May of this year. He did new brakes, pads, rotors, all that stuff, so there's receipts for that in there. Kind of working around it. Shortened antenna, windshield's in good shape. It's got your limo visor strip on the windshield. I believe it's limo all the way around the thing, so you can kind of see the paint he buffed, had ceramic coated, so it's got nice paint. Keep in mind this thing's 22 years old, so while minimal, it does have a few little scratches here and there, but I mean, it still looks really, really nice. I'll get into the interior after I do the walk around on the outside. The hood paint is perfect. It's not peeling anywhere. The whip lights work off of that control, or your phone, or a remote that's inside. Same tires in the rear. No funny wearing. They're not feathered or cupped or anything like that. So we'll hop under here. There's your rear 5160s from Bilstein. It has a Super 10 muffler that was put on, and I believe this is 2 3/4. Not exactly sure. So there's that. Sorry if I'm kind of all over the place on this. There's just a lot done. Ground of the back, tailgate handle, all that works like it should, unlike most Chevy trucks. It's not broken. I believe this bed liner has been in here. Yeah, I don't think that's ever been out. It's never, the bed's in really nice shape underneath there. there's a little dent in the bumper right here, just so you can see it. Like I said, I'll show you the good and the bad of the whole thing. Going around this side, body's super straight over here. I'll show you a little, you can see it right about there in the driver door, there's a little dent. It did have mud flaps on it, or like mud guards or something at one time when he bought it a couple years ago, and that's just from them living on it for the last 20 years. Same thing underneath here. The rear end was just gone through. He's got all the receipts for that. He put a new limited slip in there with the friction modifier, and I don't know, he's probably got $1,000 worth of rear end parts in this thing too. So going around. So then you can see no cupping, no feathering on there. Same thing there. All right, jump on the inside. Let me take the key out. That's obnoxious. See door panels. They're all in good shape. This handle works, unlike most other Chevys. Everything works. We had this thing really, he went through the whole thing, and then before we decided to sell it, it needed the rear main, or I guess there's a plate back by the rear main that leaks. So we bit the bullet and spent $1,400, $1,500 on that, just so the thing was dialed in for the next person. I just don't like selling stuff that's not right. So you can see there's your control for all of your auxiliary lights. It's got an aftermarket stereo in it with a sub and a small amp. Nothing too crazy, just sounds good. Rough country, they're kind of like the dished floor mats that'll hold all the stuff. So here's your, if I can get it with one hand, hang on, bear with me. So there's your sub. I think it's just a 10 and a small amp, but it sounds good. All right, so there's driver's side. It does have your heated seats and everything. All the heated seats work. It's got power seats even on the passenger side. There's your interior here. It's got a dash mat under there. The dash is in perfect shape. It's just dusty. So it does have a, it's not even a tear. It's just where the stitching came apart right here. So if you got with an interior guy, I'll bet he could stitch that up, but it's not like broken down or anything. It's just the stitching started to come apart there. And it's kind of weird that it was on the passenger side, not the driver, but yeah, you get it stitched back together. So there's the interior. The headliner's in perfect shape. It doesn't have the, nothing along here is sagging like these things are known for, even up front. The front is in good shape. So it's really a great truck. So I'll pop under the hood so you can see what it is. It's just a 5.3. There's your, basically like your control center where all the wires come in, and then it feeds up into the top of the interior there where I showed you where the control panel was. But still has all of your smog equipment on here. So this thing, we didn't remove cats, we didn't remove anything. There's no check engine light. It's never had a check engine light come on, anything like that. He did just put platinum plugs in it, a new set of platinum plugs probably about 3 months ago. The receipt's in there for that. Like I said, the rear main was just done, as well as the oil pan gasket and the oil pickup tube O-ring that's known on these to cause low oil pressure. Since they were in there, they did all that work. Like I said, I have the receipt for it. It was, call it $1,500. Does have an aftermarket radiator because he didn't want the fan clutch that takes the power. So it's got an aluminum radiator with two electric fans that are set up on a temperature sensor switch, I believe. or maybe it's when you turn the vehicle on. I don't know, but that's kind of nice because you don't have that draw on the power, or on the, you know, it's not pulling the horsepower from the truck to try to power the fan. So it's got 154,383 miles. This is basically cold startup. I live about 8 houses down from where I'm videoing this. So that's pretty much where the oil pressure lives. As you can see, it's still cold. No engine lights. There's never been an engine light. You can bring a scanner and plug it in. I'm not trying to hide anything from you guys. So this power center controls all your under lights, rock lights, underglow, all that stuff. It also has lights under here, LED lights. At night you can turn those on and they change color. So there's that. So here is a list of everything that has been done, so you could pause the video and check that out. Fuel pump, fuel filter, method double standard wheels, no tires, brake pads, lower ball joints, tie rod ends, alignment was just done, Izzy Fab, skid plate, I'll just bang through them real quick, aux beam headlights, aux beam ditch lights, rough country upper control arms, rough country 8-gang switch panel, platinum spark plugs, I don't know what that is, precision chassis upper arm, mic tuning rock lights, nylite whips, there's the shocks that I talked about, evap canister vent valve on the fuel tank. He had to lift the bed off, and when he did the fuel pump, replace that. Transfer case was just serviced, 6 of 25. Rear diff was serviced when they did the whole rear end in this thing and actually put a whole new differential in it with a locker. Wired sub, rough country floor mats, Sony head unit, 5% tint, and then 30% on the rest of it. Alloy Works 3-row radiator with fans, that was done at that date. Mishimoto trans cooler, I forgot about that, it's got a Mishimoto trans cooler on it, which is cool. And then here is all the work that was done last week, which sealed up all the rear main that was leaking, which again, I was told it wasn't the rear main, but all the receipts for this thing are in here. There's probably, and this is just more parts for that up there, like extra stickers and parts. But there's all your receipts for everything that's been done that we haven't ordered online. The shocks were ordered online, so I have a digital receipt on that. So yeah, got all the receipts for it. Sounds good. If you guys have any questions on the truck, let me know. We're gonna list it for 14,000 bucks. I have a clean title in my name. It's insured in my name. We've owned the truck for a couple of years now, or I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years. It's not like a flip vehicle or anything like that. So you can see with it running, that's still where everything is living. Still no check engine light, no weird lights. So yeah, any questions, leave it in the comments. Hopefully I've covered everything that needs to be covered. There's your light controller to make them change colors. I think I've gotten everything. So it doesn't even have your good old tick that normally these things have. So great truck. I'll crawl underneath it with it running too, so you can hear underneath it. That's about the only thing I haven't covered. So if you need any other videos, any other information on the truck, anything, if you're driving from far away, just let me know. I'll make a video of it. Again, not trying to hide anything from you guys. If you are going to transport this truck, I've done it in the past. I'm very comfortable with that system. You can pay for the truck in full. I will overnight you the title. It'll be signed and released into your name, and I will help the guy that loads this truck. If you're going to transport it, I'll meet him in town. I'm not leaving town, but if he needs to meet me in town and get the truck on a hauler to get it to you, I can do that, but it will not happen until I am 100%, not 50%, not the down payment percent, 100% funded is when this truck leaves my possession. So just if that helps you out, great, because I know a lot of guys in the Rust Belt and stuff like that love these non-rusty trucks. There's not a bit of rust on this thing anywhere. But if you're gonna ship it, I will help meet the shipper and do everything I can. But like I said, it will be when I'm 100% funded. We're not playing the game of like, I'll give you part of it. That ain't gonna happen. Like you either trust me or you don't. The truck will make it to the shipper and on its way to you. And then the shipper has insurance. So you can watch my other videos on this page. I do it all the time, and that's just how I operate. But like I said, if you're not comfortable with it, fly into Vegas, rent a car, come pick this thing up, and it'll make it wherever you need to go. I have no doubts. So any questions, leave it in the comments. Thanks.